everyone to the 3-day international virtual workshop on soft skills and classroom management, jointly organized by Lavender Literary Club India, Cap Comoran Trust, and Malaysian Industrial Relations and Human Resource Association Malaysia. Today is the third day. Today we have two speakers. First speaker is Dr. K. Sasirega, Assistant Professor of English, Nirgas Manikam Rameshwari Ramaswamy College of Arts and Science, Madurai, Tamil Nadu, and second speaker is Dr. Ganeshan Shanmugavelu, Senior Lecturer, Department of Educational Studies, Institute of Teacher Education, Ipoh Campus, Perak, Malaysia. We are moving to the first session. Our first speaker is Dr. K. Sasirega, Assistant Professor of English, Mirkas Manikyam Rameshwari College of Arts and Science, Madurai, Tamil Nadu, India. Dr. Sasirega has 20 years and 9 months of teaching experience and organized conferences, international conferences, workshops, FTPs, and also served as a chairperson for paper presentations and works as a language consultant for stylists, proofreading and editing, published many research papers in national and international journals, and worked as a research supervisor. Dr. Sasirega published 2 book chapters and handled 17 technical sessions, submitted 3 project proposals, and also member of ELTAI, Indian Society for Technical Education. We are very glad to have you, ma'am. The session is yours.
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you so much for the brief introduction. And it's very glad to be part of this 3-day virtual international conference on soft skills and classroom management. With the immense pleasure, I'm presenting my topic today on the topic professional skill, professional English, a way forward to acquire soft skills. And let me share my screen. With that, we can proceed with our presentation. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes.
So the topic for this session is professional English, a way forward to acquire soft skills. We all of us agree that we require English language for various reasons, and now predominantly English language has occupied the world of information and technology. Since technology, information, communication, and even to put it in short, the entire administration governed with the English language, one way or other way, all of us are expected to equip our English language skills. And that has also become part of our soft skills. When we develop English language competency, it is considered as one of the predominant soft skills to have a better classroom management. That's why I have chosen this topic. And I believe this topic and the insight which you are going to gain from this session would be beneficial. And it's going in the middle of the presentation, it's going to be a little interactive. Hence, I request the participants to make use of their chat box option, or else you can unmute yourself that time to answer a few questions. With that kind of deal between you and the speaker, I just make my presentation to the next slide. Let's see the difference between a general English and a professional English. Unless we understand the difference between general English and professional English, we cannot make our step forward towards professional English. See, first, it's a tabular column presented for all your reference. And on the left hand side, I just mentioned the features of general English. See, we use general English for our day-to-day conversation. It's a basic pattern of communication, and we use general vocabulary in our communication, and there is no tonal variation. It's going to be a very casual tone, and it is just a tool for communication, not any other purpose for when we use general English. And fluency is of course there, and it is very unconditional and simple. So let me assume the participants are familiar with general English. Of course, there might be a set of participants well versed in general English and professional English as well, since I'm just going to highlight how we are expected to develop our professional English from general English. So my understanding is the participants are well versed in general language, general English. General English in the sense, what I mean is you are comfortable using English language for day-to-day conversation, and you are aware of basic pattern of communication. When I say basic pattern of communication, what I mean is when there is a question, you know how to reply it, and in the conversation, if the sentence is incomplete, you know how to complete it. And we use very general vocabulary, like if it is food, we are going to say food, salty, that kind of a very common vocabulary. And since we use it for conversational purpose, the tone didn't play a very vital role. It is going to be a very casual tone. And we use general English specifically for our communication only. And another thing is, general English will not bother about accuracy, and it's one of its features is only fluency, and no specific kind of hard and fast rules when we use general English. But at the same hand, what we have seen in the right hand side is the features of professional English, which has been highlighted over here. So it is used for a specific purpose. When maybe I'll give you one practical example to make you understand the difference between day-to-day conversation and for a specific purpose. See, we can take this webinar. Now, we are attending this webinar with a specific purpose. So the tone or else the language what the facilitators are using, or the speakers, early speakers and yesterday speakers and day one speakers, would be for a specific purpose. So the choice of the words used by the speakers must be more precise, appropriate, and it should suit the occasion. So this is what we mean by for a specific purpose. And you just imagine the language used by the lawyer in the court. So it has a specific purpose. The lawyer has to make either a defense for his client, or it is going to be the other way. So whatever it may be, it has a specific purpose. The same way, you just imagine a forum governed by doctors and their communication among themselves. It has a specific purpose. So the language will not sounds like a day-to-day conversation. It would be naturally sounds professional. And when I mean professional, naturally the vocabulary, the choice of words are going to be more technical. And it is not going to follow the basic pattern of communication. It is an advanced level of communication. When I say advanced level of communication, it is intended for documentation as well. When it is a professional English, it is not just used only for speaking. We will make a kind of, when it involves writing also, when it comes to writing, it is a kind of documentation. Hence, it requires a high level of standards. Higher standard is expected in a professional English. And it's not general vocabulary. It's going to be technical vocabulary. And dear participants, when we move on to the next slide, you will come to know the difference between general vocabulary and technical vocabulary. Hence, you just keep it in mind. There are two classifications. One goes as general vocabulary and the other goes as technical vocabulary. And regarding the tone, it is more extensive and specific. See, when a language is used for various purposes, as far as informal situation is concerned, we don't bother much about tone. But when it comes to a professional forum, see, for example, when someone is addressing a group of audience, or else board members, or else your own children inside the classroom, then you will make your vocal culture in different way. You will season your vocal culture. Seasoning in the sense, if the class has some 20 students, then the way you speak would be optimum for the 20 students. If it is a larger classroom, then naturally you have to be little louder. Since you are louder, you will not going to shout inside the classroom. You are going to maintain the vocal culture in such a way so that the students will understand the seriousness about of you talking or you lecturing inside the classroom. That is what we mean by extensive and specific tone. And while appreciating accordingly, we are going to make use of the tone. And while scolding, while reviewing. So based on the situation, the tonal variation also has to be customized in professional English. We cannot maintain casual tone as we do it in general English. And when general English is meant for communication, this professional English aims for career growth. Whether we work as teacher or in a banking sector or in some industry, irrespective of that, professional English is aligned with your career and your career growth. And general English worried about fluency, whereas professional English aims at accuracy. That's why I said it has come under advanced level of communication. When I say advanced level of communication, we involve writing. When something is written, it is documentation also. So we cannot make any compromise with spelling, grammar rules, and semantics, syntax, all those things. That we call it as accuracy. And it is going to be very systematic and complex. Complex, the word may sound little unnatural, but what we mean over here is the traditional rules, the language rules without compromise are expected to be followed in professional English. Hence, that has become one of the features of professional English, and it has been identified as systematic and complex. All right. Now we just move on to the next slide. Why should we worry about professional English? I'm just telling it is part of soft skill acquisition. This is required for classroom management. In spite of all those reasons, let's quickly analyze the popularity of English language and why it has been widely spoken and why it has been inculcated in our professional life. See, this is the only language pilots speak. What is that? What makes the difference? Like teachers speaking some English, or engineers are using English. Pilots are also speaking English. Why should we be surprised about it? See, pilots are not even allowed to use any of their regional language or vernacular language as far as profession is concerned. Hence, we call it as the language of the air. English is, they call it as the language of the air. So regardless of their origin, the communication between two pilots for official reason takes place only in English, not in any other language. Though the pilots are Tamilians or Karnataka and Tamilian, or else an Indian and American or African, nothing is going to be a kind of barrier. Simply, it is going to be the language of English only. Hence, proudly people call it as English as the language of the year. And that is one of the reasons. Is it is to highlight the importance of professional English in today's world. This ideation regarding language of the air has been presented over here. And obviously, today, one way or the other way, the entire world has been connected or integrated with computer, internet, and technology. Obviously, English has become a machine language. When I say machine language here, it means it has become a computer language. You just imagine in what language they write the operating systems of your computer, that is OS of your computer, then the softwares. All right. Technically speaking, you might be thinking it is all binary and other things. I'm not just talking about the technical part at all. I'm just talking about the significance of English language part over here. The software, the operating systems, and the computer can easily understand our English language. Of course, regional languages could also be used in our computer, but I'm just talking in terms of worldwide population. Hence, it has been named as machine language also. Machine in the sense, what we referred over here is a computer. Yes, and maybe it has not been just limited to computer. It could be extended to the other levels like Android phones or else mobile phones. All these gadgets, communicative gadgets can understand English language. That is another reasons we are expected to inculcate professional English in our lifestyle. So we need English language for not just for speaking. When I say speaking, for day-to-day affairs, we need professionals need English language for more than speaking. All right, fine. I believe that you all agree on that part. We all require professional English. How are we going to acquire this professional English? In the initial part of this presentation, I just classified the difference between general English and the professional English. And I talked about vocabulary. And now we'll just move stage by stage to acquire professional English. We just see this this slide. Are you able to see this slide? Participants are encouraged to answer this advanced vocabulary. Again, you come across a tabular column. Am I right? Can I get response?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So on the left-hand side, the basic vocabulary has been used. On the advanced side, I haven't given any equivalent vocabulary, but I am expecting you to give me the equivalent advanced vocabulary. How could we call tasty in advanced level? Could you answer me? Could someone give a try? Someone trying? Someone trying?
Delicious, ma'am.
Delicious is, yes. Thank you, Kumari. Delicious can be accepted. And see, as far as language is concerned, it is not just going to be one equivalent. We are going to have more words. Yes, delicious is accepted. What more words?
Sumptuous.
Sumptuous, okay. That's accepted. Sumptuous, very good. Then, more words. Can I get more words from the participants? Often, nowadays, if you observe kids, they don't use the word tasty. Yes, the present generation, they will be using yummy. Are we coming across that expression or not? Yes or no? Mouth watering. Yes? Do we use it or not? So, see, to develop a language, we have to start from vocab build. So, when I mean vocab build, instead of using the basic words, being professionals, and we have the other objective of inculcating soft skills also, we can think of using advanced vocabulary. So what I have picked out here as just examples only. You can think of your, based on your domain, based on your field, based on your profession. You can think and you can develop more number of words. And the next word is beautiful. Again, I want the participants to respond on this terminology as well.
Gorgeous, ma'am.
Gorgeous, of course.
Gorgeous, ma'am.
Yes, gorgeous. Yes, Kumari also said the same thing. Yes, it's gorgeous.
Admirable, ma'am.
Elegant.
Admirable. Yes, yes. Admirable, adorable. Then
Elegant.
elegant. Very good. When do we use, may I know who told elegant? Yeah, because that's,
Sudha.
but when do we say elegant? When it gives you a very professional and majestic look, we say elegant. Yes, so the degree varies. And whom do we call handsome? You want to say someone, you want to compliment someone, a boy well dressed. So we say handsome. It's so, you look so handsome. Could we say that to the other gender also, to a female also? Do we say handsome to a girl or to
No,
a
ma'am.
female?
No.
We,
No.
no, not at all, not at all.
Yes.
We say
Yes.
pretty. It's pretty. All right. So you just understand the variation involved in using the basic vocabulary and advanced vocabulary. Beautiful is a very common term. Yes, but there are alternatives which you have suggested me now. Yes, you are talking about gorgeous, elegant, majestic, pretty, handsome. All these could be used appropriately. Then hungry, the other word hungry, often we say that. And what would be the advanced vocabulary for it? Do we have any advanced vocabulary?
Fatigue.
Sudha, come again.
Fatigue.
Factic, I didn't get you properly.
Yes, ma'am.
Could
I
you
think it's tired, right?
could you, Sudha, if you don't mind, could you spell it?
Fatigue. Fatigue. I think.
I do not know. Still, it's not very clear to me. Maybe I do not know how
Okay,
it sounds
she-
to other participants. Yes.
If I can hear what she said right, she's saying fatigue. F-A-T-I-G-U-E. Fatigue. That's what she said.
Fatigue. Very good. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So fatigue. Okay. But do we say it for hungry? I don't think so. Anyway, it's a good try. Fatigue. Okay. But there are other
I
words.
think it is famished. Am I right for famished?
Yes, Sudha? All right. See, don't we say starving? I'm starving. Starving.
So
Yes.
famished. F-A-M-I-S-H.
Yes. So that could be a kind of advanced vocabulary. Both conveys the same meaning. When it comes in terms of understanding, both the words communicate the same meaning. But what we are aiming is developing professional English. It's not a crime to use hungry. Yes, when you feel really hungry and when you want to eat something, you are badly in need of a food. You can say starving. Yes, and the next word, lucky. Lucky.
Fortunate.
Fortunate.
Fortunate. Yes, exactly. We could say it's fortunate and it's my day. There are different expressions. Yes, it's my day. It's when I say my day confidently, the day is, it's a blessed day. Yes, so plenty of other ways are to communicate the same thing in advanced level. So I'm just making you to understand the difference. That's it. At first,
At the outset.
sir,
At the outset.
at first, do we say at the outset? Okay, but you could be more relevant to at first.
Initially, ma'am.
Very good, very good. Initially, in the beginning, yes, that gives you better choices. Then wrong.
Error.
Yes, error. Do we say error all the time? Okay. Erroneous, incorrect. Yes, it's my bad. It's my bad. When you commit something, a mistake is wrong. Accordingly, you could use it's my bad, mistake, erroneous, error. These are the other alternate advanced level of expressions. Yes, what we have seen is only a list of words. But every 2 hours, English language accepts new words. We cannot master all the new words which has been added in every 2 hours. But what we can do is, as I said earlier, part of this presentation, based on our domain, we could inculcate more word power. All right. And yes, let's move on to the next screen. Next slide. Next, from vocabulary, we just move to phrases. I believe that we all understand the difference between word and phrases. Phrases are a group of words. So when it is, see, the same way, in the left-hand side, what I have been providing is the basic vocabulary. And on the right-hand side, I'm just providing you the advanced level of vocabulary. I'm listening to you. You could say that I'm all ears. Feeling nervous. You're so anxious. It's a very important examination. You prepared very well. Still, you feel very nervous. Yes, and you can call it as heart in hand. You feel that your heart has come to your hand. To that extent, you are so anxious about taking up the examination. And it is not difficult. You could say that as it's not a rocket science. And you're so excited, you're super happy. You could all say equivalent. You can equate it by saying that over the moon. And lazy, of course, it's not a phrase, it's a word again. But the phrase could be used for that as couch potato. Yes, is it interesting? These phrases, what we come across for professional English, instead of I'm listening to you, we can say I'm all ears. And when someone is very nervous, we could refer to he or she as she has her heart in hand. So we mean that the person is very tensed, as if she carries the heart in the hand. She cannot manage the situation. And something very difficult, we can say it's a rocket science, but something very easy to understand. Then you can say, operating any Android phone is not a rocket science, even for senior citizens. Do you all agree with me? Yes, yes. And very happy. All of us use over the moon. Also, nowadays, we guys started using it. And if someone is very lazy, we call them as couch potato. All right. So from word, we moved to phrases. So in this session, what we are just seeing is a handful of phrases only. Like this handful of phrases, we have plenty in English language. Uh, same way, based on our profession, we can inculcate, we can include more such phrases in our professional communication. All right. What comes after phrases is idioms. Idioms, we all know that it is exactly used by the native speakers. It varies from language to language. When I try to translate to get the meaning, it will not be the same meaning. It is just going to be the reverse of it. Do you all agree with me or not? Yes? And I believe some Tamil speaking participants are here. So I like that. It is a forum where we have cross-cultural participants. Every language has a kind of idiomatic expressions which native speakers can easily understand, whereas the non-native speakers find it difficult to understand that. See the very first example, break a leg. Break a leg. If you translate it, the meaning what we are getting over here is literally to break the bone of someone's leg by beating or by cutting it with a knife. It goes that way. But for native speakers, if I say break a leg, then it means good luck. It's good luck. Okay? And don't bite off more than you can chew. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Any idea? Sorry, I missed the second one. Call it a day. Call it a day. When we say call it a day, it means the session. Yes, in another 20 minutes, this session, I'm just going to call it a day. When I say call it a day, end card. That's what we mean. It has come to the end. To mention that, we say call it a day. Bye-bye. It is a kind of bye-bye. It's over. That's what we mean when we say call it a day. Don't bite off more than you can chew. See, there is a capacity for everyone. If it is something beyond your reach, we can say don't bite off more than you can chew. You just imagine you got a very big bite of a burger or pizza or this or that or a chicken piece. Can you chew it comfortably? No human being can do that. If we make a very big bite, we cannot do it comfortably. It would be very awkward when we chew with the very big bite. So sometimes idiomatic expressions is literally associated with the expressions. Sometimes just the opposite of it. One example is break a leg. It is not breaking someone's leg. It is actually good luck. But when I say don't bite off more than you can chew, it is something beyond our capacity. Then the next idiomatic expression is the best of both the worlds. The best of both the worlds. Could you guess the meaning? The best of both the worlds. Very, very advantageous. Very advantageous. Sir, I got a new offer in the company. It's good. And how do you find it? The best of both the worlds, which means the package is very lucrative and the work culture is good over there. And you mean the ambience, every way, every aspect, in every aspect, you feel so comfortable, you feel so lucky, and the best share has come to you. And to describe that, you can say the best of both the worlds. Yes? And cash cow, Do we have any management student or participant here from?
Madam, this is profitable, most profitable.
Yes, cash cow is very profitable with low investment. Nowadays, the business, recent business technique is low investment, high returns. You just imagine a cow, rearing a cow. Once after that, no maintenance. Yes, the cow can take the food on its own by rearing in the field. But it keeps giving milk for over a period. So this is how literally we can associate the same way. You imagine your ancestor got some property for a peanut money, for a very small money, by spending a small money. It has not been constructed any building over there. So nothing has done on that part. But when it comes to your generation, it gives high yields. The value has gone up. So really, it would be a cash cow. Very less investment on that day, but it is so profitable when you're going to sell it at present. So cash cow in the sense, low maintenance or the very less investment, but high returns. Then cakewalk. You love to do something. Then you can say it's cakewalk for me. For example, you may be interested in preparing a kind of a presentation. So all may not like it, but a very few would like that. So it's a cakewalk for someone to make the presentation or to prepare for the presentation. So cakewalk is a very easy job which you enjoy doing it. It's not just simple and you just enjoy doing that also. But when we translate cakewalk, do we get the meaning? That is it conveying it's something very easy? It hasn't. But it means actually something very simple and something one enjoys doing it. All right. And so we have seen, we have moved, actually we started from words, phrases, and then to sound more advanced, I'm just telling you how idiomatic expressions could also be used. And next we are moving to the next slide. It talks about proverbs. Yes. Many hands make light work. It's all very simple. Deliberately, a very, very simple, practical proverbs have been chosen for the participants to answer. So what does it mean? Many hands make light work. Many hands make light work.
It's meaning teamwork.
Teamwork. And there is another proverb which alerts about involving too many people. See, when like-minded people work together, it's going to be a teamwork. Many hands make light work. But complicated people, when they use it, it's going to be too many cooks spoil the broth. Yes? Are you aware of that proverb also? Too many cooks spoil the broth. Then look at the second proverb and give a try. Rome wasn't built in a day.
It means
Rome wasn't built in a day. Yes. See.
Yeah, it means that
it requires.
It means that you have to be gradual in everything that you're doing.
Yes. Certain things cannot be done instantly. If something is readily available, we could do it instantly. See, for example, preparing a cup of coffee can be done immediately. But preparing the coffee powder from the coffee bean is a lengthy process. It cannot be done instantly, which requires over a period of time to complete that. So when a work requires over a period of time to complete, we could say Rome wasn't built in a day. Come on, you wait. Yes, it is getting ready. To refer to that, we can say Rome wasn't built in a day. And the other one is also a very commonly used proverb, out of sight, out of mind.
It's to ignore any irritating stress. You have to, yeah, to ignore something that is irritating to you.
Okay. Yes. See, when we don't, why do we keep so many reminders in front of us? Why do we are expected to note down the things unless we see with our naked eyes? We cannot remember or we cannot recollect so many things. That is how our brain has been designed. So if you don't see something, literally it would be fade away from your memory. That's what people say, out of sight, out of mind. Very, see, if you are expected to complete a task, you can have a sticky note or else you can paste your planner. If it is not done, very pretty sure that we won't remember it very well to complete the task. So that's what we mean, out of sight, out of mind. When we see, we remember. When we don't see, it will not be there in our mind. Very particularly, task, human beings. Do we see? You just think of relationship. Some people would have been noted for their very thick friendship, but once they settle in their life, yes, it is not, they cannot continue the same kind of friendship. Of course, the frequency would be there, maybe there, and the same vibe would be there. But since they don't see each other often, they'll not thinking about each other. That's what we mean by out of sight, out of mind. And easy come, easy go is the next proverb. Easy come, easy go. What does it mean? Easy come, easy go. See, you sweat a lot to earn something. Then how would you spend that money? It would be a very careful spending. Am I right or wrong? You spend your time, you invested your energy, you have prepared a lot, you have planned very well, and you earn some money. In that case, that usually you will not spend it. You will be very careful about spending every penny. And twice you think before spending it. Whereas it's something easy come. On the way, you just found a purse and you didn't expect it. You'd have some $1,000. You'll be happy and you would like to exhaust it immediately. Easy come, easy go. And something like your friend gifted you some 1,000 rupees. Happily, you would like to spend it because it is not hard-earned money. It has been easily you collected it. So that's what we mean, easy come, easy go. It is highly integrated with the casino kind of job where luck involves. All right, that's what we mean by easy come, easy go. Then the next proverb, a very commonly used proverb. What does that mean? When in Rome? Are you able to read it?
When in Rome, do as the Romans do.
What does
means
it
that
mean? What does it mean?
Yeah,
It is
you
not just about the yes,
you follow simple rules and regulations so that you'll be able to
yes,
fit into that particular tradition.
Exactly. See, it is not just about the changing the outlook. It is not just about copying someone's practices, but accepting the existing practices in some place will make you so comfortable with that situation. That's what it is not about giving up our identity. When someone says, when in Rome, do as the Romans do, they didn't mean, or we didn't expect you to give up your identity. Rather, we expect you to gel with the atmosphere existing over there. That's what we mean by, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Next one, kind of a last proverb, would be a kind of little colloquial. If you scratch my back, I will scratch yours. If you scratch my back, I will scratch yours.
If you help me, I will help you.
Exactly, Kumari. Yes, it is like give and take. Very strict, ready to help you. But unless you complete this assignment, I will not do it for you. You get me this 10 rupee chocolate, I will drop you at your home. Sometimes we make a deal. Yes, that's what we call it as, if you scratch my back, I will scratch yours. So how much we have seen? We started from words, then next phrases, then idiomatic expressions, now proverbs. All right. Why do we expect to use phrases, idiomatic expressions, and proverbs in our communication? This slide probably will give you sorry. Yes. See, in the beginning, in the early part of the presentation, I just hinted you about the predominant nature of English language. And since it is widely used, speaking professional English has become one of the assert to any professionals. And these are the kind of information related to English language will make you understand how it is so important, how it is important to develop English language skill, and how it is going to add a quotient in your career. See, I told a new word is added to the dictionary every 2 hours. No other language would be like this, because this language has been used as a machine language, and this language has been used for communication, information, technology. So every hour, every 2 hours, new words are added. And I and we are the very oldest words in English. Till date, we use it with the same meaning. And I is the a single alphabet word, shortest and the oldest words in the English language. And this information will be surprising for you. English is spoken by 952 million people around the world. Yes, so literally speaking, the entire globe can understand English language irrespective of their vernacular language. And the next information will be more surprising to you. It is 339 million people are the native speakers. Just double the time it is non-native speakers. It is a second language for them. And across the world, 67 countries use English as their official language, and non-sovereign countries also started using English as their official language, since it uses for information, communication, and technology. And English language has got grammar and spelling rules. And you might be aware of the difference between American spelling and British spelling. Whatever it may be, they got a set of rules. And this is another interesting information regarding English language skills. Good as the adjective, we often use it. to make ourselves negative as well as positive. You wanted to appreciate someone. You really wanted to appreciate someone. So you will be saying, good, it's a good job. Yes. And you didn't like someone, your child doing certain things. Still, you could say with the tonal variation, good. Yes. So the second good is little sarcastic. You mean it is not at all good. So this way, maybe you can, it is going to be interesting. After this presentation, you just make a self count of good you are using in a day, or else uh, uh, in a week. You will be surprised. That is the adjective you would be using more number of time. Yes, now we are just going to try a combination of words. See, in English language, two different notions, two different ideas can be clubbed together to form a new words. That we call it as portmanteau. Portmanteau, okay? Portmanteau. Then the examples also given over there here. Hungry, because of that you become very angry. So it is combined together and angry. And education, and it serves as a kind of entertainment also. So you call it as edutainment. Now, could you think of your own examples for these portmanteau? Participants, would you like to give your example?
Brunch, ma'am. Brunch, breakfast plus lunch, brunch.
Yes. Sunday, you just wake up around 11 o'clock. So by that time, the breakfast was over. So your mom or someone in your family is asking you to wait for some more time to have the lunch served. So if you take something in between, stride between breakfast and lunch, we call it as brunch. Like that, we have so many words. Some other example? Some other example? Infotainment. Infotainment. That is also again information plus entertainment. Any other examples from the participant side? Maybe you can keep thinking of more examples. So somehow, if you know these techniques, simple techniques of using advanced vocabulary, phrases, idiomatic expressions, proverbs, portmanteaus, then naturally our general English would sound more like a professional English. And here I am just recommending you 3 websites where you can develop your professional English. Obviously, BBC Learning English is there, and Duolingo is another website where you just try it on your own. That will be really helpful for you to develop your English language skills. And Talk English is another interesting website. You can try it. And that's the presentation of these useful websites to follow. I end up my presentation on the topic professional English, a way forward to acquire soft skills. And thank you so much for the time given to me and making this presentation a comfortable one by interacting very well with me on the online mode. Thank you, participants. And now the floor is open to Q&A. If you have any queries, feel free to ask me. I'm just ready to take up your questions one by one.
Yeah, Doc, thank you very much for your presentation. It's an eye opener. I have learned a lot of things now, how to combine words, and it's really exciting. My question is, what is the difference between idiomatic expression and figurative expression?
Similar. it is not much difference between idiomatic and expressions and figurative expressions. See, for example, when someone is stealing, he or she has been caught. We call it as caught red-handed. So if someone is not going to be with the red hand, yes, but we figuratively use it that way. So idiomatic expressions and figurative speaking is similar.
Right. The last slide you show us, that is portmanteau. Is it an officially allowed English?
Very much,
Yes.
yes. That is how English language has been flourished. Yes, and officially, if you check the dictionary, you will get the meaning for infotainment. If you check the motel, if you check it in the dictionary, you will get the meaning. If it is there in the dictionary, which means it has been officially accepted.
All right. My last question is, as your presentation, the central idea is to look professional, to add a professional touch to your writing skills, right? That is the
Yes.
central idea of representation. Okay. At what appropriate time should a professional use a proverb or an idiomatic expression in your writing?
See, writing and speaking is a two different skill. And as a person, as a professional, we have to decide whether it demands idiomatic expression, whether it demands a proverb. Then we could, whether it is in speaking or writing, accordingly we can decide and we can use it appropriately. Otherwise, we need not deliberately use it. There is a difference between casually using something and deliberately using it. Did I answer your question?
Yes, please. The last one. In order to avoid plagiarism, when you want to, maybe you've read a sentence or a paragraph, and you can be able to replace one or two words to avoid plagiarism. Is it advisable that if the word is a proverb, if the word is an adverb, you replace that word with another adverb, or you can use a figurative expression?
You are talking about plagiarism by using proverb and other things. See, some one way or other way, it talks about your research writing, your intellectual writing, intellectual thinking, and other things. When you acknowledge the source properly, yes, when if you courteously used an expression in your research, and if it has been acknowledged properly, the source says, the anecdote says, the Irish proverb says, then that is the simple way of acknowledging it. Then it will not definitely comes under plagiarism.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much for all these questions. And I guess that you keep attending all the sessions and taking active participation in all the sessions. Congratulations. It's a good work.
Thank you.
Ma'am, your presentation was really good and you engaged every one of us along with your presentation, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ma'am, ma'am, do you publish articles and journals, ma'am, on ELT English
Yes.
language?
Yes, I do.
How to access to your journals, ma'am? Can I?
It is there in Research Scholar. It is there in Research Scholar. Scopus also, it's there. Probably you could mail me, or else maybe we can do this in next session.
Can I get your mail ID, ma'am?
Maybe from the organizers you can get it.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for very informative session.